basically some of these very, very, very unfortunate effects, related to self-sabotage, push people to, abuse certain substances. They'll go to, they'll start eating, having unhealthy sexual behaviors. It affects their relationship. It affects their partners. It affects their connection with people, the social interactions, even though they might have some really, really, really good things going on for them. They're just not willing to embrace, because they believe that it's not possible, that they've been told, or they've been made to believe, or they've made themselves believe that whatever someone had to say that was negative about them was actually true. And it starts, we speak often about that. It starts usually at home. It could be a parent, it could be an uncle, an auntie, grandpa, grandma, whatever, and whomever it may be. But the fact of them, teacher, whomever. The thing is that, when you really look into the way how insidious self-sabotage is, it's amazing, because you can be a functional self-sabotager. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can say that in English, but you can still be functioning and still mess things up for yourself and for yourself, because it's actually messing you up more than anyone else. Eventually, yes, when you're within a group and for example, you're at work and everybody depends on you for something, you feel the pressure, then automatically what you do is that you find a way to create a situation where you can blame someone else for your lack of action thereof, or whatever it is that you're doing that's affecting the cohesion of the group and the project. So there's a tendency to not take responsibility and to always find a way to blame others for whatever it is that you're not doing for yourself. And in result of that, it impacts, obviously, people around you and people you're involved with, etc., etc. And so what I want to talk about is obviously, what it is, from a humble perspective, and some of the experiences that I've gathered so far, and little knowledge that I have. So I'm not an expert on the topic. I'm not a doctor. I'm none of that. So, take everything I say with a pinch of salt, like you should anyway. And those are just my personal point of views. So, it only involves, my vision on this topic, and I don't pretend to speak with authority, right? But I do have authority upon my knowledge and upon what I think I've gathered. So I speak in authority and with a certain level of authority upon what I know and what I'm confident to share with you. So that is being cleared and out of the way. I will be going through these bullet points with you guys, and let's just put it this way. When you're looking at the way one sabotage themselves, you might notice that usually there is a picture that you or them, me, whoever, we paint a picture of ourselves that really says a lot. And usually it's within the first couple of minutes of a conversation, you'll hear certain things like, but I don't think I can do this. I'm not this or I'm not that. Whenever there is and obviously, I'm not saying that you acknowledging that you don't have the capacity to do something means that you're sabotaging yourself. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But what I'm saying is that a lot of the time, you are skilled, you are capable of, but you've made yourself to believe that you're not. Plain and simple. Let's not go too much in details, whatever that means for whoever's watching this, and whatever that meant for me. I'm actually going to be talking about that, and maybe it will echo with you, but it will echo with you in some way, shape, or form. But let's just put it this way. For example, When I was a kid, I wanted to become a professional basketball player. I wanted to get to the NBA. My dream was to be, like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Clyde Drexler, the greats, right? And a friend of my father came home one time. He's an uncle. I have utmost respect for him, but he didn't know that at the time. He didn't say it to me, but he said, yeah, I think he said it to my father, and then I found out, he didn't want to bring my hopes down, but whatever he said was in the lines of that I wasn't capable or I wasn't able of, or something that implied that, that was a bit of a vain dream, and because I was a bit chubby as a kid, and whatever. I'm pretty sure it would have different opinion on the topic nowadays, because mentalities have evolved, and obviously that situation I was in no way limiting me from being a great scorer and being a great player on the court, and doing things pretty well for somebody my size and height and age and all that. And so it triggered something in me where I stopped believing in myself and my skill as a player, and my game started to go regress. And it wasn't obvious at first, but because it inserted in me self-doubt, and my father, unfortunately, and the family did not invalidate what had been said by just making me believe in myself and just want to surpass myself. Then it became part of my reality. It became me. It became obvious to me that well, no matter what I do, I'm just not going to be skilled enough. And while saying that to myself, I'm still training every day, and I'm still waking up super early in the morning before going to school. With my boys, we'll be like waking up at like 5 a.m. going for a run, come back at 6:30, around 6:30, 7 a.m. Boom, take a shower, go to school. That was the routine. We loved it. We were eating, breathing, everything basketball, right? That was our dream. But then deep inside, I had this doubt. I had this belief that I was not capable of going further than where I was. And yeah, it was sweet and nice, but that's not what my father had seen for me, etc., etc. So here, right then and there, at that very specific point, you can see that somebody implanted in my system the seed of sabotaging myself, right? Much later on, when I went to high school, I came to Europe to study. I was a great basketball player. My level was really high, because I had trained with some pretty dope players back in Central African Republic. And so the trainer was like, yo, this kid is really good. And so I was telling others and not really telling myself that I wanted to go to UCLA, and that was what I was doing, and that was what I was working for. And then my belief that I was not capable of going anywhere, as much as I was trying to tell myself the opposite. So you see, I always had that seed of, I'm still going to be able to make it, but it was battling with that sabotage thing that I had going on with myself. And so what happened is that during a training session, I badly injured my knee. Really badly. And the way I injured my knee was really silly, because a guy who was actually really jealous, I guess, of how good I was playing, or how much I was scoring during that training, came and did one thing when I was going towards the hoop and mark a point. He ran towards me and hit my kneecap with his knee. So what it did is that it moved my kneecap completely, and so excruciating pain, and right then and there, my dream to become a professional basketball player are gone.